Let's talk a little bit about these pictures that you were able to salvage. I want to start putting one up where you see Aisha, the Gaddafi wife Safia, the son Saif al-Islam. Now tell us, under what circumstances did you find these photos?
These photos were found in a massive complex that was really the center, the consolidated power of the Gaddafi family. It's a place called Baba Yazia, and it is a place that was bombed during the bombing campaign. It was a place of intense fighting and also now looting. So you can imagine the state of this place now.
So you just found these pictures sort of walking... Oh, go ahead.
No, there were people coming in and out, bringing memorabilia out. People were carrying plates and books and all kinds of things. And I saw one man with one of these Gaddafi hats on his head. And I was taking some photographs of him, and he kind of pointed and led me down this dark hallway. This is one of those examples that you really, sometimes it's good to listen to the people and follow them when they have something to point out to you. This led down to a deep stairwell. I had a flashlight with me, and more people looting downstairs, completely burned out rooms. And I could see that there were framed photographs of some albums scattered around the room that was still smoldering. There were about a dozen people down there looking not for these historic photographs, but just for anything that they could use to take a value.
Okay, let's look at some of the other photos. There's one of Moammar Gadhafi sitting on a couch with children, possibly Aisha on his lap, two of his sons, one of whom is possibly safe. Then we'll look at another picture, Tyler, the Gaddafi couple with their children in what looks like a sort of a camel farm, possibly. Then this one, which is very interesting, Moammar Gadhafi, his wife, Hannibal in the background, and I'm not sure if you can identify the woman. Is that Aileen Hannibal's wife? It's hard for us to tell because these are really photos you sort of took from the compound, and what more do we know about who's in these pictures?
Well, that's the thing. It's interesting. When I took these photographs to identify all these people, I walked them around to a lot of Libyan people, both fighters and civilians, and a lot of them couldn't identify some of these old photographs because these aren't photos that were ever seen by them. These handshake photos with world leaders and that kind of thing, those were seen. But the non-kind of propaganda photos, the non-official photos, a lot of them didn't know what some of these children looked like when they were young. It was a very closed family, very private. And that actually struck me as very interesting, that they didn't even know how to identify Gaddafi's children in some of the cases.
And Tyler, what was their reaction? Ordinary Libyans who saw these pictures of this family that so many blame for having brutalized and led the ordinary Libyans with an iron fist. What did they say about the pictures when they saw them?
It's interesting, unlike in Iraq, where absolutely every single shred of evidence, everything that had a picture of Saddam Hussein or a statue of him was immediately destroyed. Here, it's not really like that. You still see pictures of him, still intact in the, not on the road where they drive over them. It's an insult, but still, they haven't been destroyed. And in this case, people wanted to get some things, but really they weren't after that kind of angry destroying of these photographs, but they were very interested when they saw them. It's really a fascinating thing, and the same way that's fascinating for them to roam this compound and to see the inner workings. It'd be like suddenly storming in with hundreds, if not thousands, of people into the Pentagon.